This is Kirk Sinclair, the hiking humanitarian. It's day 97, August 29th, and we've been hiking through Mesa National Forest. Quite beautiful, but that's not what sticks in our mind the most. We have experienced a lot of fine people along this tabletop mountain, the Grand Mesa. The day started with Steve, the owner of Mesa Lakes Lodge, giving Cindy a hat because she'd lost her lion's hat coming up Canna Creek. And then we were dropped off at Grand Mesa Lodge where we had left off hiking, and Rose and Janine were there, and it was really there was just a nice connection there. And she sent us off with a couple of trail snacks. And then we stopped at the Grand Mesa Visitor Center where Susan was helping Kai. Kai was already there and brought our news clipping from Moab Times Independent, and Susan was helping her with putting that together for us to send out. And Danae was quite helpful in calling up Gunnison National Forest to check on some trail conditions there. And Andy was quite cheerful and had just added to the aura of the center. And then later in the day, we met someone named Yance Weibel who helped straighten out a little routing problem for us. The trail on the map was not doing what the trail on the ground was, and I was standing there perplexed for a while. And he's the water commissioner for Colorado in this area, and he came by and informed us that the ATV trail had moved through there. Good thing. But most striking of all was Mike Ross, a man who makes a living with chainsaw carvings, mainly of bears in all sorts of poses. But we came across him. His home was on a piece of Forest Service land. He had his van there with a lazy boy inside it, and he had his tent up. He had another tent up for guests if they came. He had a generator, and he had a nice little campsite, and that was his home for, well, last year it was his home for 3.5 months, he mentioned. He has a piece of property, and he had a home, but the forest fire wiped it out. And he had a wife, but she was 17 years younger, and after 10 years left. And he has a disability now. He was from, I guess, chainsaw carving. It takes a toll on the back. So he doesn't make, a good living now, I guess. But on the other hand, he is very easy to please. It's just, on the one hand, it shows that a lot of people can not have homes for a lot of different reasons. In his case, it's not really a hardship story. I mean, he was happy as a clam at high tide at that camp, and he still had his property, and he had a trailer on his property that he could go to on the Colorado Springs side of the Front Range. So, he wasn't a person to feel sorry for. In fact, he was, he talked about his faith, and he just really seemed to be at peace. But, once again, he was without a home, and through a series of events that could happen to someone else, and someone else may not have the type of outlook on life that Mike Ross had. But it was a really nice, we had lunch with him, and that was a really nice stop. And We even hugged each other goodbye. It was. I know we made an impact on him as well. There's just a nice connection there. So that's what we'll remember about Grand Mesa National Forest is the people we met. Just like that's what we're remembering about every part of this hike. Whether the scenery is fantastic or not, it's all about the people. Oh, it's about time to go to bed here soon. And good night.